Greetings. Most importantly, blessings. Yes, sir. Bless my heart, bless my soul. Left it to the world, they're surely turning cold. Bless my heart, bless my soul. Give me the strength to continue on this road. Bless my heart and bless my soul. Left it to the world, they're surely turning cold. Bless my heart and bless my soul. Give me the strength to continue on this road.
Yo, 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 yo. It's another beautiful Sunday at 7 p.m. So you know what it is. 82-0 live, baby. I hope y'all have enjoyed your 4th of July weekend. I know it was hot, scorching, but I'm glad that everybody is here today to join in and watch this, man. We have a great conversation lined up, a great guest, a great friend of mine, Mr. Kyle Greene, man. Great fella, man. I've known him for longer than I've known my son. To be honest with you, I met him a few years before my son was born, maybe about 2011, 2012, at the Wards. And then we just kind of did some work together. Over the years, it seemed like our paths just keep crossing. We've always been cool, but our paths and whatever journey we have seem to cross, man. Real good fella. He's doing a lot of good work out there. He's in Forest City often. I see him there as well, too. So without me sitting here talking too much about the guy, I'm gonna let him come on screen and talk about himself. Mr. Kyle Greene.
What's up, man? What's good? HD visual. That's all I know you as.
Okay, we can do that. See, what is a lot of people don't know me by that no more. Like it's
right.
And I'm fine with it. Sometimes I have to tell my, hey man, I used to do that. I'm like, for real? Yeah, I used to do other stuff. I wasn't just out here running my mouth on screen and building stuff, man. But yeah, HD Dreams Visuals. Mr. Kyle, hey, High Snooks, hey man, you gotta call my manager.
That's crazy, bro. Like, and before we even get into everything, I just got to give a major shout out since you brought him up, Snook. And we're gonna touch on this, I'm sure, in a second when we talk about the matter of fact. I don't even want to share. When I get to that part, when I share the walk, just know I'm gonna share something that Snook did that was so unselfish for him to have done to really just get me at this level. It'll make sense when I explain this. I don't want to get ahead.
I can dig that, man. But Mr. Greene, man, how you been today?
Today, man, good. Just blessed, man. Every day above the ground is better than one that's in the ground. So I'm just I always wake up with a heart of gratitude. A couple of years ago, I just started trying to incorporate that where I just wake up and offer gratitude, because sometimes we wake up upset, right? We wake up pissed off. We wake up from what might have upset us the night before, and then we bring it into a new day. Every day that I wake up, and I know it sounds cliche-ish, but I just thank God that I just get another opportunity to get things right.
Man, that's so true, man. Because we don't know when the opportunities stop. We have no idea when it's gonna stop, man. And me and you both, I know we have some close friends and mutual friends that are no longer here. So we understand how quick and how soon that can be. So every day here is a blessing. But to have you here to have this conversation, even though we're friends and I see you kind of often, it's a blessing to have you here. I feel like this platform, this stage I have here is for God. It's what He showed me that I need to do in the act of obedience. So anyone that He sends across my path, I feel is a blessing. I try to make sure that He aligns who I have on here. I don't just go picking and choosing and trying to have like an all-star cast. It's really who He puts in my heart. And I saw you in the comments. We were talking maybe about a month ago or so, and you hopped in the comments. I was like, hey, it's about that time. and everything just aligned. So I'm thankful to have you here. For the people that don't know Kyle Greene, just give them a backstory of your early roots, how you came up, where you come from.
So the crazy thing is, a lot of people, they see the now, right? They see what's happening in the present, and they don't know where I came from. They don't really know the backstory, who I am. So I was born in a small country town in Jasper County, South Carolina. The exact town is called Pine Land, South Carolina. And if you can defer from the name, we have a whole lot of pine trees and a whole lot of land. And I'm not sure if it was done like that, but I grew up down a 2-mile dirt road. My family, we have acres upon acres upon acres of land. We call it the hill. When my grandfather passed away, he left the land to the family, to his kids. And so my grandmother raised me. I was raised by my elderly grandmother. My mom, she had a drug addiction when I was a kid. I really didn't understand it when I was a kid. I just knew I hated my mom for not being there. And sometimes when you're younger, you don't understand addiction how you do as an adult. So I didn't know how severe, I guess it was, and how maybe embarrassing she might have felt going through it. I just knew that she wasn't there when I felt like my life was the hardest. But I thank God for my grandmother, Irene Greene Gaston. My grandmother, she raised me. Her first husband, which was my mom, dad, he passed away in a tragic car accident. And the crazy thing is, I was supposed to be with him. I was with him earlier during the day. My family always share with me this story, and I think I was no, I take that back. That was her second husband died in a car accident. That's who I thought was my grandfather, because my dad passed away. But he died in a car accident, like an 18-wheeler hit him. He flew, landed in a ditch, car landed on top of him. And my grandfather passed away, and I was with him all throughout that day. He brought me to my grandmother and told her, I guess he had a bad feeling about something. And my grandmother said, I sat on the couch and I just cried while his Volkswagen went down the dirt road. And I said all that to say this is, had I been with my grandfather, we'd have not been having this conversation today. I was 2 years old. So God is so intentional in how he constructs our lives and our walks, right? He knew that I was supposed to be. I got chills just thinking about that just now. Just thinking about how intentional God can be with your life. I'm standing here now, a 4-time Amazon bestselling author, but I was supposed to be with my grandfather because I was with him all day. He just so happened to drop me off before he went to his Mason meeting. So that could be somebody's story that's listening, that's somebody watching. God is very intentional in why you here in this moment. And sometimes we don't take the moment that we currently in, we don't take it as seriously as we should. That's why every day I wake up, man, I operate with a heart of gratitude. Every day when I go to another school, another district, and I'm speaking at another conference, I treat it like it's my very last, because this breath that I just took, it doesn't belong to me. God had to decide, like, do I get another one? And sometimes, man, I think we take those things for granted. So my grandmother raised me down a 2-mile dirt road. My grandmother, she poured so much into me. Whether it was directly or indirectly, whether it was explicit or implicit. My grandmother taught me what love looked like, what community looked like, what family looked like, what church meant. I was raised in Gillison Branch Baptist Church. Just by the name of that, you already know I was in church from sun up to sundown. We would have Sunday school at 8:00, and then we would have service at 10:00. And then if it was Usher Sunday, if it was First Communion, like my grandmother raised me in the church. So that's just a little bit about my upbringing, man. My grandmother raised me, my family really loved me. So I come from a family of love. I come from a family that's big on community. I come from a family that's big on church, religion, believing in God. That's really is the foundation of what, when you think about the Greene, the Gastons, even the Beasleys, my dad's side of the family, that's what we really just stand on.
That's what it is, brother. I'll say that from the time that I met you, I can say that you had something about you, the way you moved. It was distinct. Of course, we know we got a lot of the same mutual friends, but the way you moved to me kind of stood out. It was a lot of professionalism. It was a lot of certain things you could tell you were raised by good people, but also that you cultivated a lot of understanding of life and experiences and understood that there was a path for you. I think when I knew you earlier, of course, we had different dreams and visions of where we were trying to go.
Right.
What we saw, and it was still good things. But I think still in that, I don't know if either one of us truly had like a full head of like, this is what we're going to do in our 40s. It was just something
Yeah.
at that time, it was something that we were doing because we had access to it. But before we get into that career path, you did go to Benedict College, correct?
Yep.
So that's what got you in Columbia. Tell us about your college life leading up into the careers where we first really met.
Yeah, so I got to Columbia, South Carolina in, I think it was August of 2000. Came in for football. I played football and ran track at Benedict all 4 years. Majored in computer information science. Well, at first I started out majoring in computer science. I took like that first programming class. Maybe it was a linear equations math class, and I looked at one problem. The professor started at one end and he worked all the way across to the other end of the board and then went down and then went back over. I said, yeah, I'm gonna change my major to computer information science, where I have like a business feel to it, because computer science isn't for me. So I got to Benedict August 2000, majored in computer information science, played football, ran track. In order to graduate from Benedict, you had to complete at least 120 hours of community service. And I was a broke college kid, but I had to serve the Columbia inner city, because, you know, Benedict is in the heart of the city. And I remember I said, man, I'm a broke college student. Why do I have to serve people in my community? One thing that service learning taught me was sometimes you have to pour into others, even if you don't have it. And that really was another foundational pillar for who I am, like pouring back into your community. 120 hours is not a little bit of hours, and you can't just flub those. Like, so I literally had to go into Benedict Allen Court. I literally had to go to C.A. Johnson High School. I literally, I was a part of the summer camp at Benedict, where we took the students from C.A. Johnson for the summer and worked with them. So the crazy thing is this, man, God will really have you doing things in the beginning where you don't know how those dots are going to connect. Because you were saying how you didn't know in the 40s. I didn't know a lot of the stuff with me doing a summer camp with students, right, would have me now work with students. God knew that. Again, I didn't know that. But again, God is so intentional in how he orchestrates our lives, because God plays our life in rewind. He already knows, like, when we were born, he knows when we're going to die. Like, so he plays our life in rewind. So yeah, Benedict was a very big factor into who I am today. Like, not just the service learning, not just playing football, not just the friends that I built, my network, but everything that you see. Like, it's almost like my life was in a crock pot when I was Benedict. And for 4 years, I was just marinating, slow cooking, sucking in all of the juices from my professors, from my friends, into helping me become who I am today. So when people always ask, what's one of the most important parts of your life? It would be the 4 years that I went to Benedict College. And the crazy thing is, I could have went to any other college, university. I had the grades, I had the GPS, I was an athlete. But my grandparents on my dad's side, they met each other, fell in love at Benedict College. And so that kind of stuck out to me, and it was important to me to go there. And that was one of the best decisions that I could have ever made, to especially experience that HBCU type of life.
Nice. Now, if my memory serves me correct, that's also where you met Snook the rock star.
That is exactly where I met Snook the rock star, rapping in front on the church steps, in the back of the church in the Tisdale chapter, a Tisdale chapel. Right when you like, you've been on Benedict a couple of times. I'm sure you probably don't, but so when I would have to go to my computer information programming class, you had to go down these steps, and back there was where they would hang out, and by the tree. And he was just rapping, and you know, I always thought he was cool. I thought he was hot, but I wasn't really into music stuff then. I'm not sure if you know Chris Etheridge, but he played. Matter of fact, he owned the soul food spot on Hardscrabble. What is it called?
Southern Taste, is right?
Southern Crave.
Southern Crave, my bad. So, yeah.
Southern Crave. So he
Yeah, I
owned
played
that.
a couple times recently. He actually catered at Ford City a couple times. So yeah.
Yeah. So we played football together, and he used to do like music stuff in the entertainment business. And on the football team, he was like, "Yo, Kyle, man, you smart." Because whenever he would do a concert, he was like, "Kyle, I need you to write up a contract for me." And I was like, "What's that?" And then I looked it up, and so I would do all his contracts for like artists. Man, we had Lil Wayne, T.I., Jeezy, Sierra, like we did concerts for everybody. And then one day he was like, "Yo, I'm about to start an entertainment company." Matter of fact, got the tattoo to prove it. Snook got this on his, we were supposed to get him on his right fist. I said, "I'm majoring in computer information science. I'm not putting a tattoo on my right wrist, on my right hand." So we met Snook. And then the rest was kind of just history. Like that's like my brother, man. Like that's really like my brother from another mother.
Yeah, I love that. Of course, you know, I met you. I met Snook earlier through music, but I met y'all kind of together in a sense.
Yeah.
But to kind of go in the future and look back, it's always been dope for me after seeing how everything played out, that I always see Snook supporting you and you support Snook. That's always something. I could be scrolling on Facebook and it's something that he posts and you in the comments. It's something that you post and he in the comments, and you can really see that. So for me, that warms my heart to see it from a distance, because I understand, like, there's through life, man, there'll be a lot of trials and tribulations that'll move friends. Even if it's not a falling out, it'll just add distance between them. But you can tell that y'all have a real, true, genuine like connection, and that's important.
Nah, so you remember when I said I wanted to share something early? And we probably gonna get to this, and maybe I'm fast forwarding, or maybe it's a good segue into it. So I managed Snook for, I think it was like 7 years, because Chris had got locked up, had to go to prison, had to sit down for a minute, and then that's when Lavish came along. So I'm not sure if you knew. First, it was Southern Dynasty with Chris. Chris was cool with Mix and Diggs. When he got locked up, he kind of handed it over to Lavish, and that's kind of where Diggs and Mix, just to tie it all in.
Right.
So I managed Snook for maybe like 7 years, and I was always the man behind the scenes. So whether it was, you know, somebody call Snook like, "Yo, call my manager Kyle," like handle everything. Trayvon Martin was murdered, held a rally at Finley Park, called it a 1,000 hoodie march in honor of Trayvon Martin. Let me just say this. It was never my intention on doing a rally at Finley Park for Trayvon Martin. I just put it on my social media page because I thought it sounded good. I thought that's what, you know, sometimes we write stuff because it sounds good. This is what I know. If you put something out in the atmosphere, God will sometimes hold you accountable for it. Even though I had no intentions on doing a rally in the heart of the city in Columbia, South Carolina, especially when that happened, I put it out there and God said, "Well, since you did it, I am going to hold you accountable for doing that." So I put this on social media and went viral in like 2 days. Because I was really in the streets. I would have like DJ Frosty, DJ B Lord. I had all of these DJs like shouting it out that Friday night in the club. And they say, "Yo, Kyle doing a rally at Finley Park." Fast forward, we get to Finley Park. It's overcast. And I'm like talking to God. I'm like, "Why would you have me do this rally and nobody gonna show up?" You know what ended up happening?
Oh, I was there.
It was thousands of people that was there because I had a vision. Some of y'all that's out there listening, some of y'all got a vision God gave y'all, and some of y'all playing with it, and some of y'all really not taking it serious, because that was me. I believed enough in that vision, though, to breathe a little life in it. And sometimes God said, "If you take the first step, I'll take the other steps. I just need for you to take the first step." And oftentimes our dreams will never become a reality because we are afraid to take the first step. He only wants you to take the first. He just wants you to give him his yes, and he'll do everything else. He put Melody Williams in my path. He put Charles Hickman in my path, who understood like the law stuff. He put Chris Sullivan. You remember Chris, governor?
Yeah.
He put him in my path, Melody, logistically. He put all of these people in my path who were good at their respective things that I was not good at all. And it turned into the 1,000 hoodie march in honor of Trayvon Martin to it was 3,300 people that showed up.
Yes.
All because they believed in the same thing that I believe. And we walk around Finley Park. We get to the amphitheater and they said, Kyle, you got to speak. I said, but I'm not a speaker. They said, Kyle, you brought all these people together. They want to hear from you. I said, but I don't speak. I manage Snook. I work in IT. I was working at Blue Cross Blue Shield off Alpine. I'm like, I don't speak. They said, Kyle, how is the person that put this rally together? How are they not going to talk? So I got the microphone. This is no lie. I said, hey, thank you for coming. They said, Kyle, we can't hear you. I said, oh, I didn't even know I needed to have the microphone up here. So I'm like, yo, thank you for coming. Snook had a show at Pure. That's the club. That was the club off 26, right?
Mm-hmm.
Snook had a concert or a show or something at Pure. I was about to walk in to go get his back half. He grabbed my arm. I had an avalanche at the time. He grabbed my arm. He said, yo, Kyle, this gonna be your last night managing me. I said, what you mean, bro? I said, like, bro, we so close. He said, you brought all these people together, Kyle. You brought thousands of people together, white, black, young, old, people from the music industry, corporate America. You brought business people, the city officials. You brought all these people together. He said, I'm holding you back because as a manager, you're behind me. You need to now be in front. I said, but Snook, bro. I said, nah, bro. We right here, Snook. He said, nah, Kyle, you can't manage me no more. He said, bro, I love you. He said, but I'm just holding you back. I'm getting chills thinking about that because I remember that night. Because I don't know if you remember, but Mix that night had Missa hit somebody, and God had everything happen where I separated myself from Snook in a way, and not in a way of we falling out of bad blood, but he told me that I couldn't manage him. That happened with Mix. He had to go sit down for a minute. And so Snook and his career was kind of in a weird place then, but he was like, he knew enough that he was holding me back because I was behind him. And he said that I needed to be in the front. So that's why, man, me and Snook, we really like brothers, man. He believed in the Kyle Speaks movement when I didn't see it for myself. And sometimes we as friends, especially, we like crabs in a barrel. We'll try to put our friends down. Our friends want to move up. We'll try to keep them. Nah, Kyle, man, I need for you to still manage me. Like, we've been doing this for 7 years. You got to still manage me. He never once told me that. So what you see on Facebook is a real, authentic, genuine friendship, brotherhood that we have for each other. And you don't see that a lot these days.
That's real, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Snook a good dude, man. He really is. I from the day I really locked in with y'all, I want to say it was the weekend for Grown Woman Loving.
Yep.
That's when we were shooting all those videos. That's when I really locked in with y'all. I really had kind of met y'all briefly at the wars like a year or so before in Charleston.
Yeah.
But it was a year after that. I can't remember how it was. I think Diggs reached out to me somehow way. I don't know who plugged me in. But I know I literally was living around the corner from y'all, which is like crazy. Like I could see the studio from my backyard and didn't know y'all was there this whole time, which was crazy. But that whole weekend, I just got locked in with y'all, and me and Snook got a real close relationship. I remember we were riding in Mix's Camaro up to Augusta that day and almost wrecked and all that craziness. But it threw me off because we went through all that. And I'm like, hey, Snook, man, I need you to do so and so. He's like, yeah, you got to call Kyle. You got to call my manager. I still have your phone. I still have your number saved in my phone as Kyle Snook manager. Like that's how if that's your same number. But that's how I had your same phone, man. But that whole time for me was dope to see, dope to experience, and to see that Trayvon rally. Because honestly, in that time, I'm still there, but my heart was like super into anything in that space. I was a lot louder then, and a lot more, my mindset was a lot.
You did the video, it's a video on YouTube.
Yeah, I put the link in there.
Okay.
I want to say because I was trying to download, and every way I could try to download to get that clip to play, nothing wanted to work. So I was like, cool, maybe I don't need to do it. But I got the link in the comments for anybody who want to see it. But that day was great, man. The turnout was crazy. Yeah. You almost really like your exact how you paused. I was just looking at that clip before we went on live. Like all of that happened just that same way. And I think about it because there's a picture on my Facebook of Junior in his mom's stomach that day.
Wow.
And I see your son on the stage, like looking like, yeah,
7, 8 years
he
old.
looked
Yeah.
like 4 feet tall. Like
Yeah.
when last time I saw him, I almost had to look up a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
so to seeing that whole thing and seeing you transfer, I also remember like that, the first speech after that, I was there filming. I can't remember the school. I know the mascot was the Bengals, but I can't remember what school, but it was a local school here. I met you and you filmed that first one. And I was just thinking like, man, this is different. This is dope. I didn't see
that was the Blythewood Bengals. That was their football banquet that I spoke at.
That's what it was. And I remember kind of after that, you kind of asked me for feedback on how you did. And I'm like, man, it's dope. I think this is a great lane for you. Not knowing that the lane would come like wide open. Cause like now, bro, I'm seeing you everywhere. Like doing so many different and it's dope because like your social media says you're the voice of the next generation.
Yeah.
And I see you engaging with them. I see you doing dances with them. I see you walking through the stands and they're looking at you and they're wanting to dap you up. They're wanting to hug. Like that is a great feeling, but it has to be a great feeling to see that God is using you in a way like that. So from your standpoint, just kind of tell us about like what kind of impact that has on you to see like people embrace your speaking that way, your movement that way.
See, if I'm gonna be completely honest, being a motivational speaker who impacts students, educators, teachers, superintendents, and now they bring me in to speak to school boards all across the country. That was never on my bingo card. Like that was never on my, this is what I want to do when I get older. But again, I always go back to how intentional like God is. Like he already knows your ending from the beginning. So he had already knew that this was already going to be predetermined, predestined, that I was going to become the voice for the next generation. Because when I was younger, like I've never been in a fight before. I never smoked, never drank, never did any of that the day before in my life. When I was in high school, because I'm from Jasper County, so 2 towns went to school together, to one high school, Hardyville and Ridgeland. And whenever they would like fight, right, we would have big fights at our high school. I would be the one where I was cool with the people in Hardyville because my best friend, one of my best friends, DJ Devon Dobson, lived in Hardyville. And then one of my other best friends, Shannon Howard, he lived in Wagon Branch in Ridgeland. And so I had 2 best friends from rival towns. So, but I was good in each town because I was always, I wouldn't necessarily say I was the voice of my generation then, but I was the voice of reasoning for so many people in my town. And so I'd be like, nah, y'all, like, no fighting, man. Like, come on, y'all. Like, I would be the one who I would be cool with both sides. And because if you was from Ridgeland, you couldn't go to Hardyville. Like, if they found you there, there'll be a big fight. They'll jump you, like stuff like. I could go to Hardyville, and if you was from if DJ came to Pineland, like he was good because people respected me like that. So I always had that level of respect. Not sure why I had it. Got to college, same thing. Never smoked, never drank, never fought. Computer information science, was in an honors program, captain of the football team. Like I did all of these things, kind of like a leader in college. And then the Trayvon Martin thing happened, and then it brought everything full circle. So I was doing a basketball training, elite fundamentals in Blythewood. I brought Asia Wilson to my elite fundamentals, right? Mm-hmm. Asia Wilson was my son mentor. So I've always kind of been doing stuff. I was coaching KJ basketball team. I had like 50 to 70 kids every Tuesday and Thursday with my basketball academy. Again, I'm not speaking yet. Make sure y'all follow that. I wasn't speaking yet, but God was like laying those bricks, like bit by bit. Me not even seeing the play. That's the crazy thing, bro. I never saw the play. I didn't see any of that unfolding. And then I do the Trayvon Martin rally, bring all these people together. I speak. Snook tell me, Kyle, you got a bigger purpose. You brought all these people together. You got a bigger purpose on your life. I didn't find my purpose until I was 33 years old. After that Trayvon Martin rally, I signed up for Manny Scott Professional Speaking Academy, and then the rest was history. And so now when I go speak in the schools, I am able to connect to kids in such a way that I can get them to believe in something bigger than themselves. I go into schools, I transform behavior issues. I transform grades. I transform the culture in schools, because when kids see me and they hear my story, they like, yo, if Mr. Kyle did it, I can do it too. And then when I go into schools, it's crazy we having this conversation. When I go into schools, when kids go crazy, it's because I give them a pawn, and I empower this pawn in such a way I get them to believe that this pawn is themselves. Because I say, I was once a pawn in my own life. See, I become the pawn. I show them I was once a pawn in my own life. I had a mom who chose a life of drugs. I didn't understand drugs then, but just like this pawn, I moved one step ahead. My father wasn't in the home. I would only see my dad during the summer. So I didn't have my mom or my dad in the home, but just like this pawn, I moved one step ahead. I tell them I didn't learn how to read until I got into the 8th grade. My 7th grade summer, my grandmother on my dad's side taught me how to read. I now write books that impact literacy across the country. Just like this pawn, I move one step ahead. I made a mistake and had my daughter when I was 16 in the 10th grade. In the 9th grade, found out I was having a child. My daughter was born when I was 16 in the 10th grade. I made a mistake. I fell down. Pawn, I got myself back up. I moved one step forward, because all a pawn can do is move one step forward. And so I showed them in the game of chess, this piece can only move one step forward. It's not like a queen. It can't move like a knight. It can't move like a bishop. It can only move like itself. And some of y'all have to move like yourself. And see, when you play this game of life, the most important thing that you have to do is to keep moving one step ahead. But what's so iconic and what's so ironic about this hopeless, insignificant, powerless piece is, if it makes it to the other side of the opponent's board, it goes up with something called promotion.
Right.
And because I'm not in the school, I can say that God will promote you from a pawn to a queen. You just got to keep moving one step ahead. Boy, if I could say that in the school, that would be so powerful. Because see, you don't get to promote yourself. God get to promote you. God promoted me from a little insignificant pawn. I am now a queen on my chessboard. I can move any kind of way that I want. I am one of the most powerful pieces in education when it comes to student growth. And so I tell students, you can be just like this pawn, and you can one day get promoted too. And so when you see me, when you see how they look at me, because I see the videos and I see the pictures, like my daughter does a really good job of capturing that. These kids, they see themselves in my story. They believe in something bigger than themselves because of my story. I give them hope. And because I can't really talk about God in schools, because, you got to keep it separated, I wear my cross for a reason. I got a cross tatted right here for a reason. I would not be here had it not been for God, who just had a hand on over my life, like who had a purpose bigger than what I thought it was. My grandmother raised me in the church, man. Like I used to teach Sunday school when I was a kid. Like everything was so intentional, was so beautifully crafted in my life. I would not be the man that I am today, like had it not been for like God really looking out for me. So when I write a post sometime and I say God don't play about me, I really mean that. Like I really believe that God does not play about like me, the same way He doesn't probably play about you.
No, not one bit. And I don't play about him neither. I ain't gonna lie to you. Hey, but you said something I want to kind of get into that space, man. Your children.
Yeah.
Seeing you up close in the environment when we first met, it wasn't real kid friendly. Let's say that, right?
Yeah.
I knew you had a daughter then. Of course, by the time the Trayvon rally came, I knew you had a son. But now to see them as like young adults, the way you raised them over the year, I see your daughter is a big component in your speaking engagement movement. I see her involved in all that, but I also see the both of y'all pour into your son with basketball and everything he's done. I've seen the practices and everything from you posting videos out in the front yard with you working with him to him going to Tulane and playing and doing all that. Like, to me, that's dope, man. But speak about like some of the tougher moments of getting to that moment where you could really like see the fruits of your labor at this point.
The really one of the greatest fraternities, organizations that I've ever joined or been a part of was fatherhood. And it ain't really a fraternity. Like I've never pledged anything. But when I became a father, that was one of the most that was like one of the greatest greatest feelings that I think I ever like felt. So I take being a father like very serious. That's one thing I don't play about. Like I don't play about my kids. I don't play about how I raise my kids. And sometimes I got it wrong with how I raise my kids because you don't get an owner's manual on how to be a father. It's almost trial and error. Sometimes I was harder on my daughter and not as hard on my son. But I know my daughter, she recently, might have been like a year or two ago, she said, Dad, I see why you did what you did. Like, I see why you didn't let me go to the movies, let me go to the skating ring, or why you was let me see your phone. Like she understood why I was that way. And so now, man, getting full custody of my daughter when she was 7 and having my daughter like matriculate throughout elementary, middle, high school, college, was one of the dopest things that I got a chance to experience. And so to have a son who was one of the top players in the country in basketball, he graduated high school, a 4-star ESPN top 100 athlete, over 1,000 point score, 600 assists, won a state championship at Pace Academy. And you saw me training him since he was like 5 years old. All of that stuff. I don't care how many books I write. If I become an Amazon bestseller in every book, right? I don't care if, I've been on CNN, I've been on Fox News, I've been on CBN 100 Club. I've been listed as the best and the brightest in Columbia Monthly Magazine, the Minority Report. Like I won all of these awards, been on all of these shows. None of that matters as much as being a dad. Like I love being a dad. That's one of the greatest things that could have happened. In my legacy, when I'm no longer here, I think a big part of it is going to be what type of father he was. Like he was always present. He was always there. So yeah, man, my kids, my everything. Like they the best parts of who I am.
Man, shout out to all the dads out there, man.
Yeah.
As a person in that same fraternity that loves being a father, man, I love seeing other fathers being a father. Especially people who come up from different places, different struggles, different
Right.
places where you didn't have your mother there, your father there. Like it was a similar story with me. To see in Snook, like Snook loves his son, and to
Yeah.
me, I laugh because me and Snook's son are like maybe barely a year or so apart. But I felt like we've been kind of going through fatherhood together from that moment. So I watch how he does with him. But it's a lot of men out there that I feel are really changing the landscape of what fathers used to be considered or looked at. Like I tell my son and other people, like I remember being young and I maybe like 13, 14 years old, and the older cats that had kids they would call them life sentences. Like, boy, that boy that went got a life sentence. That's how they were looking at their children as, man, that's a life sentence. Like, I'm stuck. And by the time I had mine, I was like, bro, boy, y'all whatever y'all want to do over there, man. This little dude's so cool, man. I want to be with him more than I want to be with y'all. Like, and he's been so pivotal for me to change, for me to. That's part of the reason why I stepped back from doing videos and stuff as much as I was, because it was like, bro, I'm risking everything to be in this club for a few $100s a night or to shoot this video in the hood. If I don't make it back, man, ain't nobody really I can't guarantee that anybody is gonna love my son the way I love my son. So
that's so good.
Yeah, so God just kind of, to me, he showed me, okay, you had fun, you learned things, now it's time to go over here. And that path, even though I walked away from it, all the video editing, all the networking, all the relationships, it come right back to this platform, bro. Like so many different ways. Like I'm able to use everything that I learned from then to now. And it's like, okay, God, I see the bigger play, even though this may be just like the play in the second half or a second quarter. It ain't the full play. I'm just 40. I'm just say 40. I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm just 40.
Right.
And that's really it, man. So I love that about it, bro. But I want to touch on this. And I don't want to get too deep, but I want to pay respects to a mutual friend of ours. I think about him a lot, especially when I see you and Snook and all. But Mix, man, during that time when we first really met, Mix was real impactful on me. The way, and I don't want to tell the whole story here, but the way me and Mix even became cool was wild, because it was I felt like he saw how I moved. I I was there at the awards when all the fight breaking out. Of course,
Yep.
the first thing you do back then, you put your camera up. I
Yeah.
filmed it. There was people that was really coming to me and trying to get me to. They would, man, I promise you everything. They were offering me thousands, bro. I promise, I'm not exaggerating. To get that footage, they wanted to make him look bad. They wanted it, and I
Yeah.
wouldn't do it. And I
Yeah.
saw him outside the club one night, and I ran up on him. And we talking. I'm like, bro, you know, man, I got that footage, but I never released it. Da, da, da. And he looked at me. He said, "Boy, you better release that footage. Boy, get that money."
And that Charleston accent.
And I laughed, but from that day on, I think it was just a mutual respect. He understood how I moved. I can remember being out there, man, coming around to the bus stop. My car was broke down in the winter, bro. And he come out the door. I'm like, "Hey, no, bro, you're not catching no bus, man." And when pull the Camaro out, take me to work. So of course, when he locked up, it was tough, man. But when he passed away, that was one that really, really kind of rocked me. And I got a picture that I post, man. It's one of the most fire pictures of me and him outside when we were that same weekend. He just throwing up the lavish L, man. But if you would kind of talk about what Mix meant to you, and how you've been able to kind of move forward, like carrying on the legacy still.
Yeah, man. So Mix, the same way he was whatever to you, that's who he was to me. But that's just who he was. Don't misconstrue like whatever his life was, right? When it came to what type of person he was a really good person. If he rocked with you, he really rocked with you. Like for you to not put that video out. Now he probably said, "Boy, you should have put that video out." He probably said it jokingly because he probably thinking like, see, Mix is very strategic. Like he know how to get a bag. Like he know how to get bread. But by you not putting that video out where it was probably an embarrassing moment for him. But again, like that's life, right? You get in fights, you get knocked down, you get back up. For you to not do that, you gain so much respect and admiration from him. He probably didn't tell you that with his words, but he showed it with you. He showed it by his actions. And Mix was always an actions person. Like anytime I was on the road when we was with Snook, driving up that road in them vans, going from show to show, award show, concerts, stuff like that, I didn't have to pay for anything. I didn't have to pay for my food. I didn't have to pay for my hotel room. Didn't have to pay if we stopped in the gas station. Nah, Kyle, I got it, boy. Put your little card up, boy. I got it. Everything good. Like that's just how he was. We talking about fatherhood with me, you, Snook, how we are being a dad to his son, Zavion. I think that's his name. I always called him Zay. Anyway, a great dad. That boy loved his son. He loved his family. He loved his friends. He loved like lavish. So those are like all of the memories that I always remember about him. That smile, just when he came around. Boy, when I say I love cologne now because of Mix. Like you could smell him. He used to always joke. Like if I be like, man, I ain't got no cologne, I'll spray his. He's like, boy, that's gonna cost you $50, boy. That's $300, $400. Like he used to wear not Creed. Like he used to wear that Creed. Like, boy, you can't even afford this. And he was absolutely right. I couldn't. But when I was with him, I would always get a couple of pumps out of his bottle. Real good dude. Always like long live Mix, man. He was a big part of Snook movement.
Snook in the comments now. He said the favorite phrase. I put it on the screen, but I'm gonna put it up again. Man, everything Mix, man.
Everything Mix.
Everything Mix, man. Like Mix really was one of them guys, man. All respect forever and ever and ever in the day for him. Frankie Diggs, my guy Diggs. Diggs a great dude too, man.
Yeah.
The whole lavish, man. The whole lavish to me, that was a space in my life where I was really able, like, okay, like my talent can actually bring some kind of value to something. Because at the time, I was just really running behind the whole city with shooting videos. Yeah. But like that was like it was a couple other labels that kind of brought me in. But like Lavish was almost like a home for me because I put up in the studio some days and just chill. Like and Young LA come walking in the studio, and now we shooting videos with Young LA or going on the road or doing all the different things, man. Like I was just showing my son last night, dead serious. They was asking me about the different people I've met over the years. And I'm like, well, I knew Future before he was really Future. And I showed him the picture from when we went up to Augusta to the I think it was the Funk Fest, something up in Augusta. We was filming that same weekend. He's like, oh, you really did know him? Like, yeah, like, you know, like it. So it was a lot of opportunities, but just by just being around y'all, they were afforded to me by things that happened long before I got there. So I'm always grateful for all of y'all, man. Snook is my guy. He know it. Like anytime sometimes I inbox Snook and just we have conversations back, you know, just to kind of encourage each other. What he's doing now with his health journey, I love to see him doing it, man. I've been trying to get him to pull up on Bible study with me, but sooner or later, you know, I think he'd be working on days we normally have it, man. But just keeping that energy amongst it and what God has kind of shown us from being youth, because we was like in our early 30s then. Now we're going in our 40s and life is changing. Our kids are evolving, our minds are evolving. We're becoming mentality changes.
Yeah. I like what you did there. The mentality changer. I kind of, the crazy thing is, bro, like that identity that has been placed on me, like the mentality changer, that mantra, I always keep going back to that was always like who I was. I just didn't know why I was doing it. Like I didn't understand it until I started doing what I do now. Like everything just came full circle. And like I said earlier, had it not been for Snook, who told me that night before I was getting out, I had an avalanche. We in the front of the club. This man grabbed my arm. Kyle, you can't manage me no more, bro. Like you got a bigger calling on your life. Like he must have saw the mentality changer before I even knew that it really existed. And sometimes you need a person in your life like that who sees the bigger picture and who is not selfish enough to make you still be all for them. Like, I don't know if Snook saw me, what I do now. I don't know if he saw that part, but for him to like say, Kyle, you can't manage me no more, as much as that hurt me, that like, I think I got back in my truck that night and probably cried after, and shedded a tear, or was genuinely hurt that he didn't want me to manage him no more because he felt like he was holding me back. And if you got a friend like that in your life, and I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to anybody that might be listening in the live or in the replay. If you got a friend like that in your life, don't take that friendship for granted. And that's why me and Snook, that's why we rock so tight to this day. I'm his son, God, father. If he ever need me, he just know he can call me. If I ever need him, I can just call him. It don't matter what I'm doing, he doing. We just pick up the phone. Don't matter if he at work, I'm at work. And that's just, sometimes you got to have people in your corner like that who believe in something that you don't see yet.
That's real, man. Tell us though, as being a mentality changer, the books, the speaking, like what it really is giving you that fire to keep going in that space, in a space where you didn't even see yourself. Like what keeps that fire going for you now?
Legacy. Everybody in here, you're going to leave a legacy behind, whether you want to or not. The world is going to remember you by how you live, not by how you died. And everybody is given a birth date. When everybody dies, you'll be given a death date. But the most important thing between your birth date and your death date is the dash. And your dash will signify how you lived as a person. And how you live is how people will remember you by, and if people are going to still live out your legacy. And so my legacy is the most important thing that will live when I am no longer here. This book right here, I got people reading the Mentality Changer too. Like this book right here, from moments to movements. The Trayvon Martin incident, it was a moment. It turned into the Kyle Speaks movement. That's where this book was birthed from. I took a tragedy, a national tragedy, that moment, and now I turned it into a personal triumph, the Kyle Speaks movement. So my legacy will be always in my books. My legacy will be always in how I live. My legacy will be how my kids, like how I impacted my kids. My legacy will be what type of speaker he was in the education space. I've planted so many seeds across this country. I planted so many seeds, and one day those seeds are going to produce fruit. And I'm not going to be the one that's going to eat off the trees, off the seeds that I built. I mean, off the seeds that I planted. Other people in other communities are going to eat from a seed that I planted. Legacy. How will you be remembered? And that is the most important thing to me right now, because I don't know when my last breath is going to be. But I know when I have that last breath, I know I'm going to die on E, because I give it every single thing that I got.
Boy, I love that, boy. The dash is important.
The dash, bro.
Leaving it on E. Boy,
I'm dying. I'm leaving out here with nothing in the tank, bro.
I love
nothing
it, bro.
In the tank.
Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I gotta get a copy of the book. I can't just order off Amazon, though. I gotta get you to put.
Yeah. I got you. Maybe one day we'll run into each other at Forest City.
Hey, just next time you come, just bring one sign for me. I'm always in the library. You gonna see?
No, hold on. So I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
How did Forest City? Because it seemed like I've seen your transformation happen online. How did Forest City? How did it transform your life? And I know you're supposed to be asking me questions, but we homeboys, so I need to hijack this moment, because I started in Forest City when it was at the art museum. So like that's how far I was going at Forest City.
Right.
I've been there when it was at the art museum. Then when it moved to LaGrange Road, when it was at Westwood High School. Like I've been in Forest City when I helped PT when we was running the water line and we was cutting into the cement of the Best Buy building. Like, so me and PT is my guy. Like, but how did, and we can talk about that later, but how did Forest City just transform you, how I seen?
Man, I talk about it in the very first episode.
I remember. I almost couldn't understand you because you was crying so much.
Oh, but listen, I cried hard, and I'm gonna try not to do it now, right? Because it's, but it, you know how much I love my son. You saw from the very first time he came to this earth, and how much, and to be honest, like his mom pulled him away from me and ran to Georgia. Without me knowing it was happening. I didn't find out and literally until the Friday. He was starting school on a Monday, and I found out Friday. And it tore me up. At the time I was working in construction, there was a guy, you might know him, Jason Fields. He goes to Forest City. He was running the cameras and stuff like that. But me and him were working on a construction company together, and he just happened to call me right as the police was taking my son away from me. She had called and said I was kidnapped and all kinds of craziness, right? So I'm crying, I'm going through it, and he on the phone, and I'm just like venting and telling him, like, bro, I'm mad. And he tells me about Forest City. And he like, man, at the time, it was like they was having like a men's breakfast on Saturday. And he's like, bro, you can go. It's important that you go. And so I end up going that Saturday, and it was just so impactful seeing a room of men like really embrace and pray for me and go through that whole thing, that I started going more and more and more. And then I kind of got busy with my job, and I got off track with going. And it was like every time I walked away from Forest City, like God clipped me up and brought me back in there, and to the point that he put me on staff. Like, because I'm telling my God, like, you want me in church, but I gotta be able to make money. And the opportunity came for me to be on staff, and like that was so transformational, being there and really just like tighten up my walk, seeing people who were on different levels, not just like PT. Like PT, a great dude, he does great, but it was some of the people that were just like you wouldn't even see and knowing. Like a partner of mine, man, he was in there cleaning the bathrooms with a heart like gargantuan. You would think somebody might be miserable. This man is in there cleaning toilets and singing and praising God and talking about how happy the angels are that he in there doing what he's doing. And it made me look at life different, because part of me, like being intelligent, being able to do stuff with my hands, I'm like, man, I got this. I got this. I got this. And he showed me, nah, bro, all glory to God. To this day, I can't give him any props without him saying, nah, G, it ain't me, it's God. He refused to take it. So a lot of that just helped me like map my way of thinking way differently. And then like he just started hitting me with assignments. Like once I got in tune with him, he started hitting me with assignments. This podcast is an assignment. Like, bro, I don't mind talking, but bro, this is never really my thing. I you know, not truth be told, I wanted to get on that stage for that Trayvon rally. I really did. I probably would have said something that came out maybe off because I wasn't trying to, but I wanted to speak then in that space, but not here, not just But now, man, I enjoyed it so much, bro, because I'm seeing how God used me. I'm seeing like
Yeah.
but like that's why I say if I'm in the lobby, bro. I'm always moving around
Yeah.
that helping. Like I'm not on staff no more, and everything's cool. But they call me, hey man, we want to do spontaneous baptisms. They literally pulled me from the altar, and I'm running around the church setting up baptism pools. We in there like 2:30, like doing baptisms. Like, and I'm
At the 11 o'clock service today.
Yeah, 11
I was watching it live, bro. It looked like the room shifted. Like
big shift. Like before Tim could get on and start preaching, the room had to shift. PT got on the stage and was like, hey, Tim's gonna preach if God still allows it. And next thing you know, they carrying over all the fathers, they're bringing all the men to the front.
Yeah.
And while they're sitting there, we sit on the floor. I'm literally in the very back. And Jamal just comes and say, hey, G, hey, let me get you for a second. He pulled me in the lobby. And next thing I know, but the beautiful part is, as I'm doing it, man, I'm seeing my son come out. And he grabbing hoses and towels and helping and doing whatever he can do. Well, it was a time where he didn't want to be in there. But what it showed me too is that God had more for him to do in there than for me to do in there. It's really for me to just show him where he's supposed to be at, right? Because I'm not going to give into but I prayed a prayer when my son was born that was way bigger than anything I could really understand what I was praying for. But I prayed for it, but I didn't cultivate it in the beginning. I was taking him around rappers and cameras.
Yeah.
Like, bring him to me. My mama literally called me one day and said, hey, the guy said that he loved what you doing with that boy, but if you ain't brought him to him, you ain't done nothing. And I overlooked it like it wasn't nothing. Within a year, my son mama snatched him away from me. And it was really God showing, I told you, I sent the message. And I started listening way clearer. And now, man, like to see him, he just got baptized about a month or so ago. He was just on the first episode of season 2.
Yeah.
He talked in a way like he like we was at the beach last weekend for my birthday, and I'm like, well, we might not make it back for church. He said that it wouldn't be right if we didn't get back for Sunday. Like I don't think it's right if we miss church. I'm like, well, we gotta get on the road then. Like
gotta get on the road.
But he's in that space, man, and it's a beautiful thing. And I just realized like that's why God has me there. It's for whatever he's gonna do for my son. So like that dash that you talk about, like even when my time is over, man, that's a whole nother dash. Like it's a baton. You ran track, you know.
Yeah.
I'm only supposed to do a leg of this. It ain't for me to run the whole race.
Yeah, so, that's good.
So that's really like what Ford City has shown me and has really cultivated in me is just to see the purpose. Like I tell people, I call it the big O now, is obedience. I move in obedience, Kyle. Everything I try to do now is God's obedience. If God tell me to do it, that's what we're doing. Like it like that, like that's it. Like anything else, I don't know.
And you know the crazy thing. Some people be like, "Oh yeah, Club 2 Notch." I don't know why people misconstrued when they heard the Club 2 Notch and took it a whole different direction that it never should have probably went. Some people hear it and then they like, "Oh well, let me just come experience it." But then some people hear it and then they sometimes I'll be seeing people on Facebook, they act as if Ford City is some type of like cult or something. I said PT isn't even like that as a person. Right. He is the most superstar famous person that's so humble that I know. But PT want everybody to have a heart after like God, a heart after God, right? And PT is not going to like let you live that down. He's not going to let you skirmish like how you treat God versus how you treat other people. So by just being a member of that church for so many years, the crazy thing is the first time I went to that church, I went up, I think they asked for prayer, and I went up to the altar. It was in a museum then, so it wasn't really like an altar. But anyway, I went up there. Me and Bree was walking back to our seat, and I just saw Bree in the comments. She said she was there. She was at the 11 o'clock service. So matter of fact, Bree texted me. She was like, "Yo, Dad, it was like the old Fort City today." And when she said that, I said, I already knew, because when I was watching it, I said, "Oh, they might not preach today. Like this might just be praise and worship for 2.5, 3 hours." Everybody face on the ground, passed out. Like I've seen that happen many a times. But the first time I seen him, me and Bree walking back to our chair, he said the person that had on a red shirt or whatever color shirt, come back here. And I'm like, I looked at my shirt, Bree, like, Dad, he talking about you? I'm like, nah, he ain't talking about me. He's like, nah, Dad, he talking about you. And then I turned around, I was like, me? He was like, yeah, come here. He was like, God told me something. I hate that I don't remember exactly what he said, because he might have said what I'm living now. I just can't remember it to fully give the right credit to that. But he told me that. So then after church, when he said, meet in the back, new people. So he was like, what's your name? I was like, Kyle Greene. He was like, I'm Travis Greene. He was like, cousin. I was like, I don't know if we cousins or not, but if you said, I'm a definitely roll with it. When I say this man invite me when he played basketball, I played basketball with him. KJ senior night for his 8th grade when he was still when he was at Muller Road Middle, PT came to that. When I say this man, it's nothing cult-like about him. He just has a good heart for people, and he just happened to be one of the biggest gospel artists in the world. I love everything about Ford City. The one thing when I moved to Atlanta, when KJ had an opportunity to go to Pace Academy here, that was one of the things that I miss the absolute most about Columbia is Ford City. Yeah. Like, you don't walk out there the same. You go in there having a bad day, not feeling good, still going. You walk out feeling completely different. And there's no other church that I've been to, and I've been a part of some great churches, right? But that church like does something different for me.
Yes, big facts. I love it. I grew up in church with Asia and Puff, so wow. I grew up in church with them. I saw Asia when she was like 5 foot.
Right. Now she's 6'5".
Right. Now I know her dad and all, good relationship, but like Ford City is different. The energy, the way they cultivate the youth, like it's not many churches you go into, and at 1:30 in the afternoon after church is over, you have to turn the lights out and lock doors to get people to leave the lobby. And not just like anybody, it's like the 20 to 30-year-old range of people who don't want to leave the lobby. It's young kids at 12, 13, 14 running the door in the rush to get back to Kid City or like it's so much. I was at Soda City the other day, and there was so many members of church that I'm seeing walking down the street, and they're not turning their heads. They recognize, they know you, they're coming up, but not only that, they're pouring the junior. And I promise you, but that's so big for me to see people pouring to my son, because he's the only child. But to him, he has brothers now. He calls the 20-year-olds. He go up to them and tell jokes, try to be like his daddy and tell jokes and be roasted and all in the lobby with adults. Well, I feel adults, and they love it. They enjoy it, and it helps cultivate him to where he's now trying to be a big brother to the youth, and he's trying to be a leader, man. So Ford City does all of that and more, man. I enjoy it. I reached out to the PT today. I saw him in the lobby, and I said, hey, man, I know your schedule's busy, but we gotta get you on the podcast. So I gotta see how we can time that. I think
he'll probably do it.
Yeah. I think he will. It's just, time engaged coach coming up, so it's gonna be tough to kind of get him in there. But if I can get him in and sit down for these 30, 45 minutes and really get the base, so people can really see him in a normal space of how I know him and how a lot of people know him, I think that'd be real fire, man. But Kyle, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give you a few moments. Take your time. I'm gonna make you the main on this. Anything you want to talk about? You want to talk about the book? You want to give people a good nugget to leave with? What you got coming up? Where they can come see you speak? Anything like that, bro? The stage is yours.
So what I just want to say first off is HD, man. I appreciate you for this opportunity. Like you said, we've been rocking together for a minute now, and you've always, been that same person. So for you to have this podcast and invite me on, man, I'm forever grateful and indebted to that. What I will say though is the Mentality Changer 2 is currently out. This is one of the most transformational books in the whole self-help industry. If you are going through absolutely anything and you're just in a tough spot of your life, this book, from the reflection questions, from the mindset shift tools. I think it'll really just help you get to that next level. But I'm gonna just end with this, and I end every message with this. It doesn't matter if I'm speaking at a church. It doesn't matter if I'm speaking at a prison. I always end with this. And when I was at model schools this past weekend, speaking at my like Super Bowl of my year, I ended with this message: success in your life doesn't just happen. Every morning that you wake up, you're given another opportunity to make it happen. Success is simply a mindset. And those who think that they can become successful many times do. While those who think that they can't, many times don't. How are you thinking? How do you view your current situation? Is it success or is it a failure? Are you basing your success on those around you? And if you are, who's to say that they're even successful? Quit looking into the mirror of others, trying to find a reflection of what your success looks like. You own your success. And if you stare off into your mirror long enough and you don't like what's reflecting back at you, only you, not your mother, not your brother, not your sister, your cousin, but only you have the ability to change it. So do something in your life that has never been done. Do something in your life that will cause your haters to stop and acknowledge your accomplishments. Achieve a goal that not even a family member said that you could do or had a chance on completing. Birth out that dream that lives in the pits of your belly. Birth it out to a world and make it one of the greatest realities that mankind has ever seen. Yes, you and not just me can do some amazing things if only you just think that you can. Yes, you and not just your friend. You can defy all the odds. You can beat back all the stereotypes and you become whoever it is that you desire to be. One day you can walk across the stage and you receive your own PhD degree. One day you can own your own business, hire your own people, being your own boss. You can do the unthinkable. Only you just think that you can. And you can do the impossible. If only you believe in the endless possibilities that surround you each and every day. And guess what, y'all? You can reach heights that you once thought were unreachable. But all God wants you to do is just reach out your hands. My name is Kyle A. Greene. I believe in every single person here's success. I believe that your later will be greater than your now. You just have to believe that. I believe that God has a special assignment for your life as he has for mine. And when you find that assignment, you have to walk in it boldly, proudly. You have to walk into it passionately because not everybody is going to believe the vision that God gave to you. That's why he gave it to you. You just got to believe that. So just like this pond, man, one step forward every single day, even on the hard days, even when you don't feel like it, because your legacy is going to impact the person's life or the person's life that is connected to you. And all it takes is for one person to change the world. I'm just crazy enough to believe that I could be that one person, but I need somebody else to help me. So I love y'all, man. Thanks for having me. Peace.
Oh, yeah, that's why your mentality change right there. Like that's impactful, bro. That's beautiful. I love it. I want to help you, of course. I am working on the website, so before we get once I end this, stay on backstage. We'll talk, but I want to see how I can kind of get the links or whatever. Because I have a section on the website that I'm building is just for like the family, where it's just like posting people's links, what they have, so it gives a space for people to be able to find it. Who might not know you, who just come to my website and they find a lot of dope people. They can find your book, things of that nature. But I'm gonna take it for just 1 second, but don't go nowhere. Man, I appreciate all y'all. Every last person is watching. If this is your first time watching 82-0 live, that's right, 82-0. I call it 82-0 because it's like a basketball season. A perfect season is 82 games. We 82-0 when God is the coach and we run off his playbook. We are undefeated walking with God. That's what this platform is about, to show you the different walks, the different trials, the different tribulations of people who are still undefeated because they're still walking with God. They're still living in their purpose. You too are undefeated. You too are undefeated. You just got to keep walking with God. That's what all it's about. I appreciate every last person for watching. If you would like, subscribe, follow, share. I got a lot of different content. We do the podcast. We also do what we call off the script, where I'm going out and about and talking to people out in the world and just asking them questions. We got a new segment called From the World to the Way, where we're talking to people and just coming to them and asking them how did God transfer them from living in the world to living in the way of God. But for now, peace, love, and blessings. I appreciate y'all. Until next Sunday at 7 p.m., you're undefeated. Love y'all.
Greetings. Most importantly, blessings. Yes, sir. Bless my heart, bless my soul. Left it to the world, they're surely turning cold. Bless my heart, bless my soul. Give me the strength to continue on this road. Bless my heart and bless my soul. Left it to the world, they're surely turning cold. Bless my heart and bless my soul. Give me the strength to continue on this road.